guys, I have two special guests here. We have Shedrick Jackson, and I'm gonna read a little quick bio real quick. Shed is an American professional football player, wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders of the National Football League. He played college football at Auburn and was signed at the Cincinnati Bengals as an undrafted free agent in 2023. I also have a professional. You are a former football player too, right?
Correct.
And you are the CEO and founder of Powerhouse Agency, so an NFL agent. So we have my co-host today, Trae. He's gonna help me out here with a bunch of football questions. So what do we want to know about you? Let's start with some childhood question, like upbringing, and who were your main influences or aspirations growing up that led you to pursue a career in football?
Right. So I grew up, having my great uncle is Bo Jackson. So, him doing the things he did in his professional career,
All right.
doing the things he did in his professional career, seeing that was a part of my journey too, and going to the same school he went to, all of that. So, I've grown up under that little spotlight. And then also just my mom, seeing the way she worked, taking care of me and my brothers was inspirational for me and has always just instilled in me that work ethic to always keep going and push and, get to the next level.
That's awesome.
So when you say kid, what age did you start playing football then? Was that Pop Warner? Was it flag?
Yeah, so I started off playing flag, and then by the time I hit 6th grade, I was playing tackle football.
So that's about, 10 years old? 10, 11?
10, 11, around that age. I was playing for the Midfield Saints, and that's in Birmingham, Alabama, so shout out to the team.
And then how long were you doing flag football for?
Flag football, I think I did that for like a year or two, and then I got into tackle football once I moved back to Birmingham, so it was pretty exciting for me.
So that's a jump from flag where they can't touch you really to, hey, they lighten you up now on tackle.
Yeah.
Was that you or was it the family like, hey, are you ready? Like what made you want to say, hey, I'm ready to start tackling now and getting hit?
I think it was just, my mom put me into it, and then once I got my, feet wet a little bit and I got my foot in, I just started to take off after that. Once you get past 6th grade, go to middle school, I was in an area where football was a big deal, sports was a big deal. So being one of the best players in that area was just, things took off after that.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So when you were in Pop Warner, were there like several different high schools trying to recruit you too? Or were you like, I'm going to this one because I'm local?
Man, I think it just happened. Like so me and my mom, we moved around a little bit and we ended up in Hoover. And that's where I went to middle school. That's where I played my high school ball. We had success, and it just worked out. I was blessed that way.
Yeah, and then in high school, what year did you make varsity?
My sophomore year, I started playing varsity. Unfortunately, that was the year we lost, too, in the semifinals. And that was the one year we didn't win state when I was in high school, so, yeah.
But you were a starter your sophomore year, too?
Sophomore year.
Okay, started as a starter. Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. So was that like, at your high school at that time, was that normal? Or like, was it more like, because some schools are like, hey, typically juniors, seniors are starters, younger guys got to kind of earn their stripes.
Right. At the time, it wasn't really, because we had such a good high school, like the background of high school. Like, I don't know if y'all ever seen or heard of Two-A-Days. I believe it was MTV was on, yeah. So, yeah. I mean.
It was really like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't Hollywood.
That wasn't Hollywood. All for real. But,
it was really like that.
Yeah.
Punch in your face, hot, humid. Yeah, no excuses.
Two-A-Days, we would go to. I know when I was there, we went to Mississippi for camp. So we actually took it, away from the city, and it was really like that. So, playing on varsity my sophomore year, I think that helped me in my journey because, I had to get ready early.
You did?
Yeah, so.
You've been doing this for a minute, sounds like.
Yeah, it all worked out.
And then
your aspiration is to beat your uncle's thing, be bigger than that, or?
Yeah, I would say obviously he did some things in college that, you know, I didn't do, but, you know, my career is still there for me to go to the next level, always improve, and, you know, do big things.
Yeah, you're already doing big things.
Oh, yeah. I want to do more.
It's amazing.
For sure.
And you will.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then that sophomore year was great, it sounds like. And then when did you start getting like offers and start getting recruiting and having to think about, hey, do I want to go to Auburn, or
Right.
like what was that recruiting process like too for you before college?
Yeah, so I would say it happened that year because we always had other players that were really good on the team. So, you know, when they were getting scouted or if I was getting scouted, obviously they're going to see everybody. So I would say my first offer came that sophomore year at practice, and I believe it was Mississippi State. It was the first one. So once you get that first offer, especially being SEC, like it just takes off after that, and
Oh yeah.
that's just how it started to happen.
So your name got hot at a young age. You still had 2 years left in high school. Then they all started coming in. And then when did Auburn offer you?
Auburn was a little bit later. I think that was like my junior year or after my junior year. So yeah, I would say that came a little bit later.
Okay, so then Auburn recruited you, and then I'm sure, you know, with the family having ties to Auburn, where you're like, hey, I'm just gonna go and just lock in on Auburn. I'm sure they recruited you hard too.
Yeah, I took my time with the process. Honestly, I was just enjoying it. I went to different schools, went to visit the schools. I ended up going to Auburn's camp, doing that. But yeah, I mean, I took my time with it, and at the end, it ended up being Auburn, and that's the decision I ended up making.
Nice.
So my question is like, if for the aspiring, you know, because I'm sure you're an inspiration for a lot of people that want to become, you know, they want to get as big as you do, you know, doing all these big things that you do. Like, what is that advice, like, for them to keep pushing, and what would you tell them?
Just always be them. You know, believe in themselves. Obviously, work hard and try to be consistent with what you do. And you know, when you do something that you're passionate about and you believe in, then it's easy to keep on going through whatever adversity you go through. And well,
I'm sure it's not easy.
yeah,
Competition fears, and then you gotta go do all this practice, run crazy, all these, you know, just so much workout. So much.
And the talent gets better. So I know in high school you dominated. So then when you went from there to Auburn, was there any kind of, maybe you can maybe you can talk to like the inspiring athletes here, like when you are a star athlete in high school, how do you kind of transition to college to where you're playing with guys who are the best in their state? So the guy next to you might not be a bench warmer, he's really good too. So how did you kind of overcome saying like, wow, I was the guy at my school and now I'm dealing with a team full of guys who are also 5 and 4 stars?
right. Yeah, that was something that I always had in the back of my mind, and that's something that kept me going because I knew that even though I'm in high school right now, even though I'm going against people who might not go to the next level, when I do get to the next level, it's going to be guys that, you know, everybody's good, everybody's big, everybody's fast. So what am I doing right now that's going to put me in the best position to win once I get to that level? And I think that part of my mindset helped me while I was in high school and so on, so forth down the road and even now.
So what did you do? Like, because you talked about how, you know, stuff that you have to do to kind of stand out. Like, what did you do to kind of separate yourself from the pack?
I was just always spending time on the field, and like if I got bored at home, I would just go to the field. Like whether my boys came or not, I was just out there putting in work, and I think all that extra work is just got me to where I am today. And it's crazy because at the time I was never thinking too much about like, oh yeah, like all this extra work is gonna get me in the NFL, stuff like that. I was just doing it because at the time, you know, that's what you love doing. So I'm like, let me go put this extra in, and you know, it's just paid off.
So it sounds like you're really like focused in the present moment and trying to be where your feet are, as they say.
Right, no doubt. I think that helps you not just in sports, but in life too. Just being where you are, focusing on the present moment and handling business.
The wisdom, I'm like,
yeah, I like it.
Like, what are we?
Get deep.
I feel like
I
I'm
like
talking
it.
to an old man right here. You're so wise. That's amazing advice. That's awesome. And you mentioned the word blessed, so I think that might be, you know, your connection to, so I think that's really nice.
No
What
doubt.
about future goals? Looking ahead, what are your main goals and ambitions for your professional football career, like, or even after? Do you have plans for after NFL?
Yeah, I just want to, go out there each and every year, be the best player I can be, make a name for myself, as like I've always done, and then after my professional career,
Yeah,
that's always the question.
it is.
I've looked into different areas of business, and I've been studying real estate, trying to get into that. So I think that'll be something I'll try to do. Yeah, investing. There's no telling. I'm not sure yet. So yeah.
You got time.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Definitely figure that out. Yeah, but it's always good to invest. Yeah, that's it's already, you already have a good plan. Yeah, I skipped a bunch of your questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all
That's
good.
disrespectful. My bad. I'm like,
Yeah, but I mean, like I was saying, is we can cut some of these clips. It's we can kind of have it more like a conversation too, and let the questions kind of come organic. So I know you had mentioned, so we can kind of bounce around a little bit. So I know you had mentioned the, playing at Auburn. Can you talk about how it was when you were ready to declare for the draft, and kind of even going back to like aspiring athletes, like how was that whole declaring for the draft, having an agent, going through those, all-star games, pro days, combines, that process during even like draft weekend, and then knowing what team you're going to be on?
Yeah, I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. Going into my fourth year, my true senior season, that was my best year statistically, and it just popped off after that. I ended up coming back for a fifth year and doing my thing or whatever. And once I declared, I didn't really I had a late round grade to free agent, so I knew that it would be somewhere in there. But after my college career, I went down to Tampa. I was training down there, had a good pro day showing, and it got me to the Bengals to start my career. So I was grateful for that.
Nice. So with the Bengals, did you have to go the rookie minicamp route and try out, or were you signed before going in?
I was signed before going in, and then
nice.
Going into fall camp, just like everybody else, just having the opportunity to make the team. Was practice squad that year, played a couple games, so I got my credited season and just went from there.
Okay, very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so you've had your opportunities, it sounds like, and you made the most of them too.
No doubt.
Before the draft, did you have a feeling like, hey, I feel like I'm going to Cincy? Were they talking to you before, or like were you kind of surprised? Like, oh, dang, I thought I was going somewhere else.
It's crazy. It's crazy how that happened because they actually came out of nowhere. Like they were like one of the last teams I talked to, which I think that happens to a lot of people sometimes. But I had talked to dang near every team.
Well, so you're receiving heavy interest from teams like across the league.
I was talking to teams during the draft. They were keeping up, and then after I got a couple offers and ended up being the Bengals. So, yeah.
Very nice. And then now with the Raiders, you've recently joined them. You said this is your first week out here, but maybe you can talk about when you first signed with the Raiders and maybe how that opportunity came to you.
Yeah, so that was in November during the season. I had got released by the Bengals during the season and was at home for a little bit, just working out, staying in shape. And I got a call from the Raiders saying that, they wanted to sign me, come out, be on a practice squad or whatever. And then after the season ended, signing a futures deal, coming back now and having a chance to make the team again. So, I'll be working with them in the offseason and see where that goes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people see NFL players and think, oh, they just go from team to team, but there's that transition period you mentioned where you had to go home for a little bit.
Right.
And you don't know where your next paycheck or team is coming from if you're going to go to another team. So how long were you home for, and like how did that feel to have to, go back home for a little bit and not knowing how long am I going to be here for?
Yeah, it was kind of, for it to happen the first time, obviously, it was kind of weird, kind of strange, but luckily I was in a place where I could be consistent with my workouts. I had different people I can work out with, and I had a couple workouts with other teams actually before the Raiders called me, so that was a good thing for me to have that interest and know that if it wasn't the Raiders, it would probably be somewhere else. But that's just how it worked out.
So you knew like God had a plan for you, and that you didn't know where you were going, but you knew you were going somewhere.
Right.
Right.
No doubt.
That's special. That's nice.
Yeah.
I like how you dissected this to kind of like, give it the whole, from the beginning to the, to the present. I like that. That's nice. Because it's kind of like a footprint. Everybody, like all these aspiring football players, they want to watch and be like, oh, nice. That's really cool. What about for overcoming obstacles? I have a question. So facing challenges is part of any professional athlete's career. Can you share a particular obstacle you've overcome and how it has shaped you?
Yeah.
I'm with the difficult ones. I have the difficult questions. Fun ones.
That's always a good question. I would say my first couple years at Auburn, not really having too many stats. So not having a bunch of catches and, the accolades and us winning big games and stuff like that. That was kind of tough going through that. And of course, whenever that happens, people are, reaching out, talking about, transferring and stuff like that. So sitting through it, growing with my brothers and just grinding and keep putting in the work to try to overcome that was something that one of my first obstacles in my professional career that I would say I had to overcome.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's pretty common, right?
Yeah, going from high school where we won a lot to Auburn where it was like flip-flopping with coaches and stuff like that, it was kind of tough, so, yeah.
And then I wanted also I had a question that, I don't know, maybe it's a stupid question, but we can always edit this out. What is a good agent to you? What does an agent, the best skills that one should have?
Right. I think a good agent should be able to take the things off the field, off your plate so that you can focus on the things that you have to do on the field. And, great communication, just things like that to, like I said, take your mind off of everything else that has nothing to do with playing football.
That's a good one, yeah. It's funny because I had a little quick interview with another player, and he was saying that I don't like when an agent over communicates.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Can that even be a thing? I guess. Huh?
I mean, yeah, I guess it depends on how much you like somebody hang your phone up and what they hang your phone up about. So I mean, I guess that's different from person to person, but yeah, that's agreeable at times.
Yeah.
What are some of those off the field things that you mentioned that could help, you on the field that you'd like the assistance with?
Right. There's always different opportunities coming up. Like, just for example, like an interview, investments, business, just like so many different things that all professional athletes have to deal with. And,
Endorsements and all that.
Right. And it's good for, to have a good team behind you that you can trust to deal with those things so you don't have to deal with it on a day-to-day.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I would be like, man, hey, y'all do your part. You do your job. Do we want to do some rapid fire questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do it. Let's see you.
All right, the first one, early bird or night owl?
I'm an early bird for sure.
Okay, how early are we talking? 3 a.m.?
I'll be fine with waking up, man. I'll be ready to get the day started. I like to get to bed early at night.
Old soul, I'm telling you, it's an old soul.
How early we go to bed though? So not 7.
Not that early. Not that early. But I'm gonna say I usually try to get into bed at 9 during the week.
That's nice.
And then you're up by what, like 5 or 4?
I would say 6. 6.
Yeah.
I would say 5 and 4 was the college days when they had us waking up at 4 to go work out before the sun even come up. So yeah.
Wow.
It's an early bird.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You're gonna live a long life with that.
I hope so. We're gonna see it.
And then we got favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero? I never thought about that one. Let me see. If
They
I
have a
had,
bunch these days, huh?
I was about to say, there's so many
Yeah.
different little movies and characters out
They're
nowadays.
changing them too.
It's like, wait, I lost track.
I don't know. Dang, I never thought about that.
So my podcast is very, like, it's full of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we can always skip if it's like I don't feel like being bothered with this question.
I was about to say, yeah, no, I don't know
Yeah.
about that one. I don't know
We
about
gonna skip
superhero.
that one.
And then for like vacations, would you rather go like beach vacation or mountain retreat or more of like a city type of vacation?
I'm gonna get out of the city because I'm from the South, so there ain't too many, big cities. I'm from Alabama.
Okay.
I do like the beach, but I have been snowboarding and stuff a couple times, and I do like the mountains and the views. So I'm gonna switch it up, and I'm gonna say mountains.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
I'm gonna switch it up a little bit.
Is Lake Tahoe, do they have mountains out there? Because it's kind of like a little bit of both, the water and the mountain and all that.
Lake Tahoe, they got some stuff, like Big Bear, not too far. Where did you go snowboarding?
The couple times I've been snowboarding, I was in Denver, Colorado. So yeah, some good mountains out there.
Oh my God, it's pretty. I've never been.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then is there a favorite stadium that you've ever played in?
My favorite stadium, I'm gonna say Auburn.
There we go.
I'm gonna give love to my school. Yeah, it was always an exciting environment. Love playing there, and yeah, I'm gonna give love to my school.
Nice. So you had your high school game day, right? College game day, NFL game day. Has your preparation on game day? Do you have a ritual or a superstition that you've been following since you were a kid, or what does game day look like for you, or even the night before?
I would say for the most part, I'm usually at that point I'm locked in, so I'm not really doing too much. If I say anything, I usually just walk the field down and back, get familiar with it, see the different parts of the stadium, especially when you're on a away game or something. Just enjoy it a little bit and then go play.
There we go. Ready to ball out.
Yep.
I like that. You got more questions?
Yeah. So, is there one song that you get pumped up before a game, or do you kind of change that song every week?
I wouldn't say one specific song.
Can we even promote the?
I was about to say, yeah, I don't know if we can.
I don't know if we can endorse without Monday.
Yeah.
Right. There is one, huh?
I ain't gonna show nobody too much love, but
Right. But you got some artists
that
you like. Sounds like yeah, some guys. Okay, and then is there a most used emoji on your phone?
most used emoji. Maybe the fire emoji.
Yeah, the flame.
The little flames. Yeah, maybe that one. And maybe the laughing one. Everybody love to have a good time. So
Yeah.
The one where it's like he's kind of crying,
The
but it's like
tears
the
coming out the
yeah. I use that one a lot too.
yeah,
You do all the time.
Right.
Happy
A
people.
lot of stuff
I
is
mean.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta laugh.
I'm with you. Yeah. And then one rule change you'd make to football.
Oh, a rule change. Dang. I think we gotta tell these corners and these DBs to stop holding so much.
Gotta let them know.
Yeah, let them know.
You guys heard it here.
Yeah.
Stop holding.
Stop holding, man. Stop holding.
Count your days.
But yeah, I would say that's the rule change. You gotta throw more flags on the DBs.
Oh yeah.
Got to. And then so we got some this or that's, right? So catch a game-winning Hail Mary touchdown or run back a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown.
I'm gonna say catch a game-winning Hail Mary.
Yeah.
I caught one in high school, not a Hail Mary, but a game-winning touchdown pass. I caught one in college, and hopefully we're not put in that position, but maybe I'll get one in the NFL too. So
Nice.
I think that's always exciting.
What was that game-winning catch at Auburn?
Georgia State in 2021. We were down, and it was like fourth down. I think we were in the red zone, and I caught a game-winning catch there. So that was pretty exciting.
Very nice.
The stadium went crazy.
Okay, and then we got strength training or speed drills.
Speed drills. without
All
a doubt.
day?
Yeah.
Why is
all
that?
day. I'm a receiver. I like to run. So I'd rather run than go in the weight room and lift weights.
So when you do have to lift weights, do you have a favorite lift that you like?
I wouldn't say a favorite. I would say it's good to, it's good for preventing injuries and stuff and maintaining strength, but I wouldn't say I have a favorite.
Okay, so you're not like, oh, I really want to do power cleans or bench, squat. I want to do speed. Try to get faster.
I don't think I ever said that in my life.
And then you got a preference on like natural grass or artificial turf?
Natural grass.
Natural grass?
Yeah.
You feel like it's easier to kind of cut and break or?
Easier to stick on. You're not getting turf burns and stuff.
Those turf burns.
Yeah, the turf burns are crazy.
And the heat.
Yep. And then I played on grass at Auburn, and then in high school too. So just what I'm used to.
Okay. Nice. So watch game film or practice plays on the field more?
I'm gonna say practice the plays. Watching game film sometimes is, it's one of those things you just like, man, it's getting long.
It's getting long.
Yeah, I'd rather just go do it, go out on the field and do it.
Go out and do it. And then, if you're having a really good game, is it better for you to have a loud crowd in a home game, or would you rather silence the crowd in an away game?
I'm gonna say silence the crowd in an away game.
It's like the mic drop.
Yeah, because they always, you got people talking crazy, so I'll say silence.
Especially now, with the SEC, those fans are no joke.
Oh yeah, the fans are crazy. We didn't play some crazy crowds in the SEC, so I'm used to it.
What were some of the crazy crowds? Like, were they doing the tweets before the game, throwing stuff at you guys? You could hear them, or like what made some fans crazier than others?
Some of the stuff the people out there say, boy, y'all do not want to hear it. The stuff they say, they like to throw stuff.
Oh no. Heavy stuff? Like bottles or?
Bottles, cans sometimes. When you're driving in on a bus to go to the game, people.
Oh, you probably have like groupies and stuff too, I bet.
They're crazy. Groupies are, hey. But yeah, it's always interesting to see.
Has any of the stuff ever hit you, like in the game? The stuff that they've thrown? You ever been hit or no?
I never been hit personally.
Okay, good.
Nah.
With some of your teammates, maybe?
Oh no.
No, they're not throwing it that far?
Nah, I don't think they're that crazy.
Okay.
Nah.
And then we got major rivalry game or a guaranteed blowout win, where you might catch 20 passes, score 4 touchdowns, or it's really like a back-to-back, almost like a shootout kind of, where you don't know who's going to win till that last play maybe.
I would say back-to-back, like a rivalry game. That's what you want to play football for.
That adrenaline, uncertainty.
Of course, at the end, you want to win, but I would say the back and forth is what you watch it for, what you play it for. So, yeah.
I like that.
Nice. Yeah. That's a good question.
And then do you like team practice sessions right with the team, or do you like more of the, hey, I've got a trainer, I'm going to get some work in on my own outside of this? Like, what's kind of your preference?
I'm going to say with the team. I think it's good to be around your boys, laughing, joking, enjoying yourself, and then I think that's what just creates chemistry on the team.
The team chemistry. Do you feel like the team chemistry, have you seen any differences from like a high school locker room and a college versus NFL locker rooms? Do you feel like that camaraderie is still the same, or do guys get a little bit more kind of to themselves because everyone's competing for only 53 spots?
I would say people, of course, naturally, a little bit more to yourself. You're grown now and you got different priorities. And, in the high school locker room is more so, you just want to hang out with your boys. So I think naturally you start to see that a little bit, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Okay. So you like to kind of have both. And then, coming from Auburn, it's like we talked about, it's like traditional uniforms. Do you like the traditional uniforms or more of like the flashy kind of alternate unis and a little bit more modern stuff?
I never had a problem with the old school Auburn ones. Been seeing those for a long time. And when I was in high school, we actually switched it up a lot. Like we had a lot of different jerseys, kind of like Oregon. How they got different colors. We were orange, so we had orange and gray, orange and black, white and orange, like all of that stuff. But yeah, I would say I never had a problem with the old school Auburn jersey.
Okay. Now, let's say you keep doing your thing, your career blows up. Would you ever want to get like your own sneaker deal or like shoe deal or like have your own cleat designed after you?
Yeah, I think that would be cool. I had to see what it would look like.
Ideas now.
Yeah, I was about to say you putting ideas in my head, but yeah, I would say that would be cool. I had to get somebody creative to help me out with that one to, get a logo and all that stuff. But I think that would be cool.
Yeah, some new cleats would be nice because we talked about the Under Armour cleats versus Nike, you know, maybe you have one that's specifically designed for receivers to help you with your cuts.
Right.
How you sit, but also looks really cool too.
Oh yeah.
Like you want to wear something that you feel like I want you to see me in this, not I'm trying to hide it.
You gotta have something that's gonna function right, but you want to look good when you go on the field too. So
exactly.
You gotta have a little swag when you go out there. You gotta look good and play good.
Right. Like Dion said, you look good, play good, you play good, they pay good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So literally, it's that simple.
It all work together. It's simple.
Wow.
It's
So
simple.
that's the on the field drip. Now, off the field, are you into like fashion? What's the drip like?
What's the drip like?
I'm gonna say I keep it pretty basic. Like I don't do nothing too crazy, nothing too flashy. Like something comfortable like this. But yeah, I don't do too much with the fashion.
Okay.
Actually, that's your style though. Like not trying hard. I'm not here trying to like, ooh, look at me.
Yeah.
That's like really cool because it's like, you know what? I'm true to myself. This is my style. I'm not trying to be out there.
Yeah, I think it's just naturally how I always been. So it goes hand in hand. Like that's just how my style is, laid back, and I just like to dress in what's
Charity
comfortable.
on your
It's the world.
Honor the gift.
Honor the
Oh,
gift.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
It's a
Okay.
LA brand from Russell Westbrook. So it's
Nice.
pretty.
We got to get you to LA. Then that's a sign.
Yeah,
We got to get you to LA.
gotta go check out LA, man. Gotta go check out
San
LA.
Diego's nice. San Diego, that's my city though.
It's only 2 hours away from LA, so
True, yeah.
quick little drive.
Yeah.
Would be good. Do we want to talk about ladies or no? Because we I'm putting it on the spot. Hey, we don't need to. Just I want to know like what is your ideal woman look like?
I don't know if I have an ideal woman. I would say maybe an athlete. Yeah, maybe an athlete so she can understand, the type of life I live. Maybe have the same mindset, but yeah, I'm open.
But if she's like busy too, then you're busy. How y'all gonna make it work?
So I say it's kind of a problem, huh? I ain't think about that one.
Because if she's an athlete, oof.
Yeah, she got a busy schedule too. I mean, if it's the right person, you make it work.
That's true. And then somebody's gonna have to compromise. Most likely, she will.
You're right.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't want to get into specifics on that because that was.
Yeah, I'm like, she trying.
Hey, that's trying
I want to get you in trouble.
She trying to get me in trouble on the podcast.
I'm not trying to do all that. But yeah, I know you had a.
Yeah, I mean, so you had talked about earlier about this kind of being the first like in-person studio podcast. How do you feel about like outside of this? Would you want to do more podcasts? Like, do you like the media, or are you more to yourself, or you're like, hey, I like this, I want to kind of be seen in more type of like media off the field kind of endorsement type stuff?
I would say I'm more to myself. Like I do interviews, I do podcasts. This is the first one being in person in the studio like this, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to the studio, to y'all. But
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
yeah, no, I appreciate y'all. I mean, I would be open to doing more stuff. I kind of keep it low key, like I said, keep to myself. I like to handle my business on the field, do my stuff off the field, and focus on that first. So,
yeah, no, that makes sense because I think some guys now, even with NIL, we're seeing some players maybe kind of shift priorities. But like I tell players all the time, hey, if you want more of the off the field stuff, your on the field performance will get you.
right.
That I think some players have the order of operations a little backwards sometimes.
And I think it's hard to, I mean, with so much stuff out there today, so many people doing podcasts, so many different things, I think that's what people see. And they think, oh, I got to go get that first or do that first, which is, I mean, that's fine and all. But me personally, like I said, I just like to, handle my business first, and then I know the other stuff will come with it.
Yeah, it will. I mean, you have NIL and transfer portal. Kind of want to get your thoughts on the transfer portal too, because when we were there, well, you were actually part of that. You were you finished Auburn in 2022, 2023 draft. So that first year of NIL when it was coming out, were you like, oh, this is great, or were you still like, hey, I'm going to focus on what I need to do to get to the league?
I was loving it. I ain't gonna lie.
That's good.
Oh, yeah?
I moved off campus. I got me a little apartment. I had, whatever I needed. But yeah, I got the back end of it. It was nothing crazy like they getting nowadays. Like
Millions.
this dude's getting a lot of money, a lot of things. But Yeah, I would say that was good for us to get that little piece that we got of it.
Yeah, I mean, was there a shift in the locker room from like pre-NIL to like post-NIL? Did you see guys like maybe a little bit happier going to practice in the locker room, or conversations a little different?
I would say at the time it wasn't nothing too crazy. I mean, we was doing whatever, enjoying ourselves, but not nothing too crazy. I don't know what they do nowadays, being a little bit removed from it, but yeah, I'd say it was good for us, and I know it's been great for the guys that's in college now.
Oh yeah, and then with the transfer portal, are you for it? I mean, because you were loyal to Auburn, so
yeah. Being there for 5 years, I was always asked about it. Always, it's kind of like, do I do it? Do I not do it? But I stuck it out. Stand on my decision, of course, to do that. But it's so many like rule changes and so many things now that honestly I don't even know the rules and stuff for it. But it's so much going on that it can get hectic for them sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's true. There's a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces. Coaches might transfer to different schools, so for some players, they actually have good intentions. For some, they might be afraid of competition. They want maybe the easy way. But I think for the guys that stay loyal to a school, from like a scouting perspective, it shows like the NFL wants guys that have that dog in them.
Right.
It sounds like you do.
Right. Yeah. No, I would say I always have. So
yeah.
I think that just goes back to like where I come from and that type of stuff, and just like my mentality personally. But I know everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different reasoning for it. So at the end of the day, a lot of people are gonna do what's best for them, and yeah, they got the option to nowadays. So some people are gonna take advantage of it.
Yeah, and then so when you're in the locker room, I'm not sure how it was at each level for you. You could probably talk about it, but how did you work with teammates that maybe didn't have that dog in them? Guys they were there but not really there. Mm-hmm. Like, how did you kind of work with teammates who maybe had different mindsets?
I mean, I would say me personally, like, I'm gonna go in there, do my job, and they see what I do. So either you follow or not. I was never one to do anything crazy, say anything crazy to anybody. But if you want to have a team where you're gonna win, then obviously everybody has to kind of fall in line and follow the guys that they look up to, follow whoever they think is a leader. And if I've been in that position, I've always tried to do my best to be that leader for the team. So that's just the way I look at it.
So really kind of like to more so lead by example, it sounds like.
Right.
And that's sometimes the best way to do it, because you can lead the horse to water. You can't make them drink them. You can hype people up. But I think people, when they see you doing it, they naturally, over time, if you're consistent as well, would just probably try to follow, especially if you guys are really trying to win.
Right, yeah. Now you wanna try to keep up, because I mean, like I said, it's a bunch of guys in there. It's all your boys. So if you see a guys like taking off, if you see them doing well, naturally you want to do well too. So it's like, why would you go in there to waste your time?
Right, and especially at the platform you have now with the NFL, what are some of the things that you like being in the NFL maybe more than when you were in college? Like, are there certain things about the game, or just being on the team, maybe the lifestyle, or just being a professional, like not have to worry about going to class? Like, what are some things that are different that you like a little more?
I was about to say, yeah, that class. Man, class, I would say that freedom away from the classroom is definitely a great thing about being a pro. And, that freedom in the off season to, go home, relax, go on vacation and relax, do what you need to do, and take care of business is a big difference. And shoot, I enjoy it.
Yeah, no papers due at 11:59 p.m.
Exactly. You going to class all morning, practice, then you work until 10 o'clock, then get up and do it all over again all year. So it's like getting away from that was definitely smooth.
In a way, does the NFL it's not like school, but do you feel like you're almost in that structure where you have, you got team meetings, you got film, you got your playbook sessions, your training, and then you got team dinners and breakfast? You still have that structure, but it's of stuff that you actually want to do. Right. Versus taking a sociology class or some kind of physics or algebra that you feel like, hey, what are we doing?
Right. Sometimes you're doing that stuff and it's like, you don't understand it, it's gonna put you to sleep.
It literally does that.
It's gonna put you to sleep. So I mean, yeah, when you get in the league and you're doing stuff, you know, you're working towards a goal. It just makes more sense, and it's like this is what you put all the work in before to get to the pros and be able to do those things that you enjoy.
Yeah, the true love of the game.
Yeah, right. No doubt.
I just came up with like 4 things in my head. If I may ask.
Let's do it.
Favorite childhood moment?
My favorite childhood moment. I would say just being outside, playing out in the streets and stuff, riding bikes.
Before the social media.
Yeah, before the social media. I mean,
Man.
I can't lie. I can't sit here and like act like I went playing video games and stuff, but I caught on to it a little bit. But for the most part, I was outside, you know, playing with my friends, doing those type of things. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Man, that's favorite player of all time. And you better say Bo Jackson.
He always, you know,
Here we go.
I'm trying to help you out here.
Coming.
you know, he'll always get love for what he did. Obviously had a great career, but I'm not gonna lie. When I was growing up, I used to always watch Calvin Johnson. I wanted to be like Megatron. I thought I was gonna
Megatron.
be. Yeah, I thought I was gonna be 6'5", mossing on people and stuff. Not 6'5", but you know.
You mossing dudes though.
Yeah,
You still mossing dudes.
making big plays, But yeah, I would say Calvin Johnson.
What did you like about Calvin's game that you were like, he was kind of really physical.
He was I would say just to be that big.
Just to be that big.
And running,
Really?
running that fast, and you know, just running routes the way he did and making plays was just crazy for me to see. So I would say, yeah, he was one of the ones early on in childhood. I was watching YouTube highlights and stuff like that. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to meet him or get some advice from him?
I have never met him, not yet. We'll see. You know,
That'd be cool.
it's a small world, and you know, you always meet a lot of different people, a lot of great players. So maybe one day I'll meet him.
Yeah, we never know.
That'd be really cool.
I'm putting that in the universe.
Oh yeah.
This year. Favorite team of all time?
Favorite team? NFL team
Or any sport.
NFL, yeah, because I know you're an Auburn guy. But NFL,
Okay.
Yeah.
I was a Saints fan for a little bit growing up, just because we don't have a team in Alabama, so I would say that was like one of the closer ones. I kind of just watched them a little bit.
Yeah.
What'd you like about the Saints?
I was kind of a bandwagon because I hopped on after they won that Super Bowl, so I kind of was like riding the wave with them.
Everybody loves the winner. It's fine.
Yeah. So I was rocking with them for a little bit, but yeah.
Did you get to go to a home game?
I'd never been to a home game. I don't think I've been through New Orleans. I played LSU a couple times, but besides that, I've not really been in Louisiana.
Yeah, no, the Death Valley they call it. Is that stadium really what everyone says? Is it really super loud and it's
that
nuts?
stadium,
It
yeah,
shakes.
That's one of the when we're talking about the crazy fans. That's one of those. That's probably the top one. I'm not gonna lie. They got some passionate fans and they do all they can to help LSU win them games. So it's a crazy environment down there.
Oh yeah, New Orleans is nice. I was down there for the Super Bowl this year. The food's really good, so I've kind of been going to the South a little bit more. The food is let's go there for the food.
It's always good food in the South, no doubt.
Do you miss the food, the Southern food, or do you like the food out here in Vegas, or do you feel like it's like you're like, hey man, this is missing something?
Yeah, I mean, every time you go back home to the South, you can't miss out on the home cooked meals, the soul food. Yeah, they got some good spots out here in Vegas too, but yeah, it's nothing like the home cooked meal.
So home cooked, like soul food. What's on the plate that you're like, this is mine?
You gotta have your chicken. You gotta have your
fried chicken or
yeah. I'm gonna say fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans. Probably my favorite. Always one of my favorites. Macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay. That orange American style or the actual like? Cause
you can flip flop it a little bit sometimes. It depends on how you make it.
Yeah,
it depends on how you make it.
Why did he make it like mac and cheese that's orange? Like what kind of milk is orange up in here? Like what is this?
She's talking about the easy mac.
Yeah.
Like why do they do that?
Yeah, no, it's kind of.
I do mine in the oven. You know, like
some real noodles,
real
pasta and stuff. Yeah, right. I feel that. I feel that.
Milk, the real milk.
Damn, we should have got a plate in here.
Yeah.
We should have walked into a plate right now.
I can cook, okay?
Okay.
I'll invite you
That's
guys.
what's up.
Yeah.
I'll invite you
That's
guys.
what's up.
So, yeah.
Do you cook yourself too?
I done tried to start a little bit, but nah, I struggle in the kitchen.
I struggle
So
in
you
the
say you
kitchen.
started. What did you start with? Like an air fryer or?
Oh my.
Nah, I didn't try to make easy stuff like quesadillas, little tacos, stuff like that, but nah, I ain't gonna say it. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I'm doing nothing for real in the kitchen, so yeah.
Hey, you can hire a chef.
Yeah.
Day and age.
Yeah.
That's looking like the move. That's looking like the move.
Oh, the lady gotta cook. What about your favorite Super Bowl?
My favorite Super Bowl? Dang. I don't know. That's a good question. There's been some good ones.
Very good ones.
Which one was the one with the J-Lo when she danced on the pole? I just look
Wow.
at the halftime.
We're not talking about
She was
football
good.
anymore. It's not even football. You're talking about something.
I don't know.
Talking about halftime performances now. It's
That's
not
what
even
I'm talking
football.
about.
I'm like, games.
Because I'm
went
looking at
straight-
the other things.
Straight
other
to J-Lo in the pole.
We went straight to the pool.
Was that the one?
Hey,
But she did good though. She was good. that
I don't know. Which one was it?
It was an A+.
J-Lo. Didn't
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
From the 2000s,
Not
maybe?
the one with the crazy, with the Shakira scene where the Shakira did some weird stuff with her face. Not that one. That one was recent. I'm talking about J-Lo alone, and she did a great job. I was like, wow.
I don't remember.
Who
I
was
don't
the
know.
last year? Was who?
It was Kendrick last year.
Okay.
Kendrick, this past year.
Yeah, this past
Kendrick.
year. Yeah, I was there for the game. That was a great halftime show.
Yeah?
Of course, when he did the song, They Not Like Us, everyone's going crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. There was the Justin, I don't know if you remember Justin Timberlake with Janet Jackson.
Oh yeah,
That
that
broke
was.
the
got
internet.
banned,
That broke the
yes.
internet.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to, that's all I remember. I remember the halftime. The rest is like, okay.
It's all about the halftime show for sure.
That's yeah, I can. So now that you told me your favorite stadium, all your favorite stuff, do you have any more questions, Trae?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is a really good platform for people to learn about you, really on the field, but also off the field too. Like, do you have any interests like outside of football? Like when you're home, just chilling, do you like to listen to music? Do you play video games? Do you like to maybe listen to podcasts? Like, what are you kind of like outside of when you're not doing football?
For your fans to know.
Yeah, I still like to do something chill. Like I be outside, go on a walk. Like if I'm here, go check out the little trails, the little mountains or whatever. Just to see something new, try something new because, being from Alabama, we don't have stuff like that, like mountains. I'm not used to seeing it, so just getting out, exploring a little bit, seeing the different.
Valley of Fire.
Yeah,
See? Nice.
Valley of Fire. Okay, I'm gonna try that out.
Check it out.
I'm gonna try that out. But yeah, just seeing the different cities and stuff it has to offer. I think that's always fun.
Yeah, because you mentioned the snowboarding. Now I'm hearing the nature. It sounds like you really like nature.
Yeah, I would say I like to be outside more.
Yeah.
I would say I like to be outside.
Going back to when you were a kid, you said you were playing outside, like the bikes. Like that's what I remember as a kid. But now I was out with my family the other week and we saw 6 kids. They were all on iPads. I'm like, guys,
that's crazy.
You guys are on a playground, not playing.
That's different. I was gonna say, I don't got no kids, so I don't know how to deal with that. But yeah, that's different.
Yeah, it's a lot of digital, but I feel like, some of the football back in the day where guys were a little bit more aggressive, and I feel like that kind of lifestyle showed in that age in football. But now, with the rule changes, some of the guardian cap stuff, we're starting to see a different kind of football. But players are still getting better, faster, stronger. Do you feel like, with your training, are you having to find new trainers or new workouts, or do you just kind of stick to what you've been doing?
I would say that I usually stick to what I know. Once you get good at the little small stuff, then you can freestyle a little bit, try something new. But I think for the most part, it's just staying on track with what you're used to and
Perfect that.
yeah, perfect it, and then
Master your craft.
going from there and adjusting. So yeah, it's just a part of the game.
Nice.
Yeah, and I guess because now we came up to the top of the hour, we gotta wrap it up. Is there any? Oh, you have another question?
Yeah. I was gonna say, for the fans, even from your hometown, like little kids, can we expect like a a youth camp for you in the summer, or do you have that maybe in the works? Are you trying to give back to the community, throw a camp for the kids and show them, kind of talk more about your story and show them some of your skills they can do?
Yeah, no doubt. I think that'll be something that'll be put in the works at some point. You know, once I get established with the team, have time to go back home and share some of my experiences, even if it's not a youth camp, just something different where they can see that, you know, sports is a outlet for them. It'll get them success in life, but doing other things off the field too.
Love it.
I love that question. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And the answer too. Is,
Yeah,
you know,
I appreciate you.
That's amazing. A lot of wisdom here. I'm like, this is gonna be one of my favorite episodes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any question that you wish we had asked that we just missed? I want to make sure you're happy here.
I was about to say we hit on a lot of stuff, you know, off the girls.
Let me know if you want me to remove that.
Nah, it's fine. Nah, I would say we hit about everything. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm sure we'll keep in touch. I'll follow you on social media. Where can you're the famous one. Where I was going to ask, where can they find you to follow you? Hey, I mean, you know what? I have a lot of European friends. So for those in Europe, where can they find you?
Yep, I'm on Instagram at Shed Jackson _. Twitter is the same, Shed Jackson. Yeah, it's my social media.
Perfect. Y'all go follow him, please. Both of them. Trae, UCLA, and then you also have Powerhouse Agency, right?
Yes, on all platforms.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.